Good morning. I am going to wait just a second. Make sure that I'm on. Hello. Happy conference day, you guys. Hey, Toby. Good morning. I'm so happy to be in here. Happy to do it on conference day. I think everybody's so excited and fired up. I'm going to give just a couple of seconds for a couple more people to hop on, and then I'll get going. Until then, I'll introduce myself. So I am Jackie C. I am not on your guys' team, but honestly, I wish I was. I adore Haley so much. Haley Grammer is just the sweetest. We just connected recently, and I asked her, I was like, why have we not connected before now? So anyway, she did a training for me last week, which was phenomenal. You guys have an incredible leader. And so I'm so happy to hop in here with you guys to chat about parties, recruiting from parties. But first, just say, hey, you guys, tell me where you're from. Who's excited about conference tonight? I don't know if I'm more excited about hearing what the incentive trip is going to be or getting that peek into the fall line. I'm so excited. But I live in Birmingham, Alabama. I have 3 kids. I'm married. We have been married for going on 11 years, I think. But I started with Color Street 2 years ago, and did not expect for this to be what it is north of Dallas. Okay, so I was born in Dallas. I was born in Fort Worth, the Garland area, I think. Maybe not Fort Worth. I don't know where Garland is. We moved way before I remember anything. But and so I was in direct sales before Color Street. I was with a company. It was health and wellness, just completely different. I never knew really how to do a party-based business because we did not do parties with the company I was with. So you guys, I have had to learn everything from the get-go with starting with Color Street. But I will say this, 80 to 85% of my personally enrolled stylists are from nail bars, are from parties. They are not people that I know. Only a very small percentage of my stylists and even customers are people I personally know. And the reason for that is because my upline is my neighbor. And so she had a lot of people already buying from her. And honestly, that was kind of a hesitation when I got started. I was like, Leah, you know everybody. Everybody already buys from you. And so when I started, I was like, I have to learn how to do parties, and I have to learn how to do them well if I'm going to succeed. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I hope you guys have a pen and paper. Maybe you even have, I'm so excited to start using this beautiful bright notepad and pen. But just take a few notes. A lot of this is not rocket science, and a lot of it also is trial and error. So, you might get off of the call and think, oh, I have some great ideas and motivation and encouragement, but how am I going to fit this into my business? So it's not a one size fit all. You have to commit to learn and commit to try and commit to fail and try again. That's the only way that I figured out my system. Okay. So the first thing I want you to even think about before we start is if you were to be a guest in your last 3 to 5 nail bars, would you want to purchase from yourself? Would you want to be sponsored by you? So the reason I ask you that is because Color Street's getting popular, right? We're growing at massive rates, and more people are starting to know what Color Street is. Good morning, Pam. And so we're going to have to start really focusing on how we're going to set ourselves apart from the pack. There's going to be a lot of stylists out there who Don't give it their all. There's going to be a lot of stylists out there who do nail bars and it's just like a copy and paste. They're just trying to get through it. And so what is going to set you apart? Are you posting creative content with your face in the post, or are you doing graphics? Now, nothing against graphics. I'm all for a beautiful creative graphic, but I think you guys are on the same page too, because I know Haley is huge into creative content and branding, and so I know she preaches that to you guys often enough. But really, if I'm sitting here thinking, I was in 2 Mascara, which is a makeup company, I was in 2 parties over the past month. One, you could clearly see she copied and pasted everything. You could clearly see that she stole graphics from somebody somewhere. And then the other party, like, she was in it. She was the face of it. You could tell, was aware of the guest and who they were and the hostess and what she liked and was interested in. And I wanted to purchase from her a whole lot more than I did this other girl. So you have to think about that. You have to think about, are you memorable? Do you want people, and do you have people, when they see that notification that, you know, Jackie C posted in Haley's beautiful nail bar, are they going to want to click on that? That's my goal. My goal is to have it where they see that notification, they want to know what I just posted, and that's really important for you guys to remember. So first, just take a step back, look at your past like 3 to 5 nail bars. Are you somebody that they would first of all want to purchase from, a complete stranger, and would they want to be sponsored by you? If the answer is no, do not feel bad, okay? I had to ask myself, and I still ask myself that to kind of keep myself in check so I don't get complacent. That's just a clear sign that we need to work on some skills to get you there. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to learn it to be able to do it efficiently. So my number 1 tip in the beginning of a nail bar is to build trust. And that is going to be with the hostess and with the guest. So what I do, if I normally do not know my hostesses, I mean, I've gone through my warm market pretty quickly to where I am now running my business purely off of people that I am meeting in nail bars and then turning around and getting them to host a nail bar. And so I'm having to learn, and I'm having to get to know this hostess just as much as I'm having to get to know their guests sometimes. So you need to find a way to get to know your hostess. For me, I have like just a very simple questionnaire. You guys, it's not anything crazy or overdone. Like, it's a Google form where I just ask them some basic questions. What's your favorite Color Street nail set? How did you first hear about it? What are your interests? Do you like wine or coffee? Like, just broad questions. So I can at least get to know them, what type of person they are. I also ask them, do you have kids? Do you work full time? Just the things that I need to know to start building a relationship with this hostess. Because building trust and relationship is super important when you're in direct sales, especially when people are starting to sell it more. You really need to start building trust with your customers, your hostesses. And then I use all of their interests and everything that I just found out that they like and are interested in. And I'm going to base my post off of that. So I do have a template where it's like not a rough draft, but it is just a basic template timeline for my parties. But then when I get to know their interest, I'm going to tweak it a little bit. And, if they're a big wine lover, I'm going to do maybe like a little wine theme. Or if they're a huge, Alabama fan, like I'm in the South, so it's either Alabama or Auburn. If they're a huge Alabama fan, I'm really going to hype up football and Alabama and things like that. But this is going to do something huge that you might not think it does. This is going to show her guest that you know the hostess, that you have a relationship with her, that you've built, trust with that person. And it shows them you have a genuine relationship, and that it gives them confidence to then trust you as their stylist, because majority of the guests are probably going to be people that you don't know. Okay, so you really need to work on building trust with the guest. And the first step in doing that is showing them that you've built a relationship with the hostess and you are not just this random person. Okay. All right, so second thing is have your hostess tell you a little bit about the guest. And I didn't do this for a long time. When I started implementing this, it really changed the whole atmosphere of the party. Because you guys, online parties, like in-person parties, you can like show your personality, you can get to know people pretty well. In our Facebook parties, it's a little different. It's a little bit more difficult to really get to know people. And that's your first step into getting, building trust. And so have your hostess tell you a little bit about their guests. Are they full-time working moms? Now, I know they're all going to be different, but is majority like full-time working moms? Is it more of a mature audience? Is it your church friends? Is it your lifelong friends that you just are basically sisters? And so this is going to help you, or even interests, if they all have similar interests, like are they interested in traveling and things like that? This is really going to help you also cater your post to the guest so that they can see that, okay, so she's not just copying and pasting, like she's really making this something, that we want to be involved with and engaged with. Sorry, I'm getting my other sets of notes over here. Okay, so third thing is I try to talk less and get them to talk more. I know from experience with attending other parties with other direct sales, the stylist or whatever you want to call them, they just gave all the facts and just kind of like word vomited all about the product. When in reality, if you think about an in-home party, people are really there to hang out more than they are about the product. Like, yes, they're there, they want to know about the product, but they also just want to hang out with the hostess. Like, it's just a good, fun girls' night. Think of that for your nail bars. You want to really build that atmosphere that, okay, this is a fun group. Get them talking. Ask them questions about each other. Have the guests post pictures of them with the hostess and tell them their first memory with the hostess. But get them talking. Yes, give all the facts about Color Street, but then also remember, like, these people know the hostess. Let's get the atmosphere fun and exciting. And then also you join in as well, like kind of helping the conversation go. All right. Is this helping, guys? Are y'all there? Y'all are so quiet. All right. So now we've talked about building trust, building the atmosphere, getting to know the guest and the hostess. Let's talk about how we now bridge into recruiting. So that will work, all the tips I just gave you, that's going to work with sales, and then that's going to work with building trust. And that's your foundation to now the next step is let's talk about recruiting. So what I like to do within my post, not every single post, I'm not going to in every single post talk about being a stylist, but in several of my posts, I'm going to sprinkle in the business opportunity. Now, I always have, at the end of my party, I always have a post that links my stylist sneak peek group, which I don't know if you guys do those, but we have like a team-wide stylist sneak peek group that I run for my team where it's just like once a month, we invite, potential stylists, customers, hostesses, anybody that we think would be interested in the business, and we just talk all about it, give them all the information. So I always link that group at the end of the party just in case somebody wants to kind of sneak in and join that group. But before that, I am sprinkling in all kinds of business opportunity seeds. That's what I like to call them because I'm just wanting to plant little seeds instead of just like hounding like, join my team. So look for things that you can sprinkle those into. So if this is like, a group of girls that loves to travel. I'm going to talk a lot about how we travel with Color Street. So I'm going to maybe post a picture of the set of nails that I wore on the cruise. And I'll say, these are perfect vacation nails. Look at the set that I wore for an all paid for cruise to wherever we went. And, I love that Color Street spoils us with trips. So that would be an example where I'm sprinkling in, I'm not like blasting, join my team and you can travel with me. I'm just sprinkling in that little we travel too and we have fun. Or say, these are majority stay-at-home young moms with kids. I'll probably post a lot of pictures of me and my kids while I'm, working, or I'll have a kid in my lap while I'm flipping through nails to show them on a live video. So you're not necessarily blasting join my team, but I'm going to let them see that I can run this business with my kids. And that really is a huge adjustment. When I made that adjustment, it really has helped with my recruiting. Okay, so that is a lot of just the party. So now that's what I call the stage. Now let's talk about behind the scenes, behind the stage, because a lot is done behind the stage. You guys, I'm not going to say this is easy. I'm not going to say my process is just you do it and it's simple and it's easy and you have success. This takes some work, okay? I'm not about slapping some posts into a group and then hoping that I get a recruit. There's some things you're going to have to do behind the scenes. So I have a system that I put into place almost in the very beginning, because I needed something that was almost I have 3 kids, I'm busy, but I really want to build this business. And so I had to think what kind of system can I put into place to make this almost it's just a no-brainer. So as soon as let's talk about hostesses. So as soon as I finish that hostesses party, my first step is to obviously get her rewards, have her talk to everybody and let her party know all the awesome things that she got. But I'm also going to present the opportunity with her. So customer, hostess. So I'll try to turn all my customers into hostess, and then I'm going to try to turn that hostess into a stylist. And basically, you guys, it's such a simple follow-up message that I do. It's just hey girl, how did you love earning all that free product? I think you would be great at it. You already have an awesome core group of customers in your group. You could totally turn that into your launch party and we can make this a full-blown business for you. Depending on her and, if she's a busy full-time working mom, I might word it a little different. Know your hostess. That's another reason you want to know your hostess and your customers. But I'm going to present the opportunity always to my hostesses, always. Okay, and so then I'm going to follow up with all the customers in the party. Everybody that has purchased, and then also ones that have not purchased. The ones that have not purchased, I just reach out and I'm like, hey girl, I know you were in, Haley's group. We're about to close it off. Did you see anything? I just want to make sure I'm keeping contact with those people. It opens up conversation. It might not, nothing might come of it at this moment, but hopefully something will come of it eventually. But for those that ordered, my next step is I'm really basing it off of the conversation. And this is why building trust with them is so huge in the beginning, because when I go to follow up with them afterwards, after the party, after they've gotten their order, it's important that they even want to talk to me. There's some companies or there's some reps out there who I buy from them because my friend hosted a party. I just want her to get the rewards. And I really don't want anything else to do with them because I'm not invested. So this is really important, building trust. They're going to feel a little bit more invested and they'll want to hopefully talk to you more. But I just send them a simple follow-up message. hey girl, did you get, I like to look in my virtual office and I kind of stalk the orders and see when they're supposed to arrive to the people's house. And so when I see that it's been delivered, I just follow up with them and I just say, hey, saw your sets were supposed to come today. Let me know if you have any questions. Can't wait to see what you wear first. And then if they ignore that and they don't say anything, I just follow up a couple days later and say, hey, what'd you end up wearing? And get the conversation going. So my whole objective is just to start a conversation. I'm not thinking about, okay, I want to get them signed up by next Tuesday, so I really need to present the opportunity on Thursday, and not thinking about any of that. I'm just getting the conversation going, getting our relationship going a little bit more than, oh, she's the girl that Haley hosted a party with. Okay, so here is a tip that I use when I am starting to present the opportunity. So I've gotten to know this girl a little bit. I've done a little research. I might have even asked the hostess, like, is there anybody that you think would be interested in the opportunity? If she says so-and-so, I ask why. And so I do my research and I know who I'm talking to. So that's a really important tip. Know who you're talking to. And so I know she's a busy working mom. But she's also mentioned in the party how she wishes she had more time to travel or something. I'm just giving an example. So I'll just simply say, hey, Sarah, I noticed you are a busy working mom, but you love to travel. And I was just wondering, have you ever thought about possibly becoming a stylist? And I'll go into reasons of why. I have stylists who have made this a full-time job. They get to stay home. We travel all the time. Give them a couple of things that might interest them. And then if they come back with some sort of hesitation, do not freak out, okay? Don't take it personally. Everybody has hesitations when they're presented with something new. That's just a natural, in my opinion, a very natural, occurring feeling when you're presented with something new. So don't freak out. Take a deep breath. Say, okay, I understand. And here's what I use. I use the feel, felt, found method. So I'll say, Sarah, I totally know how you feel. I felt that. So say her hesitation was she knows so many people that are selling Keller Street. Sarah, I know how you felt. My neighbor, my upline, was already selling to the whole neighborhood. I totally get it. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I have found is because we're a party-based business, look, I'm talking to you and we don't even know each other. And, I will teach you everything you need to know about running a Facebook party or an in-home party or whatnot. But show you care by just saying I totally know how you feel. I felt the same way, or I would feel the same way. But showing empathy but saying, but look, this is kind of what I have found. And then leaving it at that. And there's sometimes I will even say, look, there's no obligation. You can say no. It will not hurt my feelings. But I have a stylist sneak peek group that I can add you in. It will give you all the info. Let's just get you the info that you need. Okay? So as she's my customer, I'm presenting that opportunity just kind of nonchalantly. Hey, have you ever thought about it? No, don't overthink this. Let them say no at first. Don't freak out. Let them hesitate. Don't freak out. But then also don't end the conversation there. Don't let them just be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's fine. Always lead to, hey, let's just get you the information that you need. And then when I get an answer back, yes, you can add me into the group, I always book a follow-up, basically, is what I like to call it. And I always say, okay, Sarah, I'm going to put you in the group right now. And then say it's a Tuesday. And then Thursday night, I'm going to message you and we're going to talk about what you think about it. I always let them know that I'm going to be coming back to message them to see what they think and to get their thoughts. So then they have a little bit of urgency to go through the post in that group, because supposedly Studies show fear sets in between 24 and 48 hours. So you really want to make sure that either do it the next night, do it the next day, do it within at least 48 hours, because that's when fear starts to set in. It's also when they start to really talk to other people. They might go to lunch with their friend the next day and be like, yeah, I talked to this girl. And then, as you talk to a friend, like, you never know where those conversations are going to go. So always book a follow-up by saying, I'm going to message you at this time. We'll chat then. It always works like a charm, you guys, I promise. Okay, so if she tells you she needs more time, do everything that you can to kind of stay in the forefront of her mind. So I do have girls who I'll follow up with them and I'll say, what did you think about the group? What what questions do you have? And they will say, I really don't know if this is right for me. I need just a little time to think about it. I always obviously say that is totally fine. Like, no pressure. I don't want anybody to think that obviously you're pressuring them. So I'm like, yeah, like, where to find me. I will be here. And I just say, and then obviously I would love to still have you as a customer. So I just make sure I'm always in her mind. And so I'm not going to stalk her on Facebook or Instagram, but I'm definitely going to be that friend. I'm going to be that person when I see a post, and I intentionally write down all my potentials, and I make it a point about every other day to go to their Facebook or Instagram, and I am intentional with commenting and liking on their posts, making sure that she sees my face and nothing about the business, but just she's seeing my face, and obviously she's going to think Color Street, Okay, so here's another tip that I sometimes do as I have guests from parties continue to purchase. So if I see that one of the guests from Haley's party has, this is her second or third order, one thing that I love, a way to bring up the opportunity without it being super pressure, I don't know, I just always want to make sure I'm not that stylist, pressuring anybody. But I'll just jokingly mention and I'll even sometimes post this in the party group. I'll say, say your name's April. I'll be like, April, just got your third order. I'm going to go ahead and just drop a new stylist kit in the mail for you because someone's a little obsessed. And have y'all ever seen that GIF where it's someone's obsessed? I love that one. And so I just kind of jokingly bring it up. Who knows what'll come of it, but I think just kind of dropping that hint of the new stylist kit as they're continuing to buy is really, really fun. Okay, so one last tip before, if you guys want to ask some questions or whatnot, two things that I implement in every party, or one thing I implement in every party. At the end of the party, and I can share this underneath this post, I'll share what I write. I also do this in my VIP group pretty often. And you've probably seen something similar to it, but I call it the Color Street spectrum post. Maybe I'll word it differently. I don't know, but it's just basically all the color heart emojis, and it'll go down. It'll be the red heart is for I love Color Street already. The yellow heart is for I am hesitant to try it, but I'm hesitant to buy, but I'll try a sample. And it just goes down the list of different places people could be. And I always end with the last heart being, I love Color Street. I want to learn more about the business. I really love this post. It's very easy for someone just to click a heart emoji and move on. But it gives me an idea of where people are at. So I love that post. And then the other tip I have that I have to give credit to Molly Finch, because that girl is a genius, and she shared with me several months ago about something she does with her potentials. If someone she has been talking to from a party, or say someone at a party just ordered $70 of nails or something, what she does is she'll send them a sleeve of Clear as Day, just one sleeve, not the whole bag, just one sleeve, and she'll literally just put a sticky note on it, and it'll say, so-and-so, thank you so much for your order. Clearly, and she puts it in quotations, clearly you were meant to be a stylist. And I thought that was the cutest thing in the world. So I have now done that. So every time Clear as Day restocks, I am purchasing like a buttload, because that's what I do. I now use that as like a thank you gift to someone that has ordered and I've been talking to them about becoming a stylist. It's just a sweet little like, hey, it's play on words, obviously, that's always fun. Clearly you were meant to be a stylist. But just it kind of, again, is building that relationship, that trust. It shows them you're investing in them. Like, I just think that was such a genius idea. So I think that was my last tip. Does anybody have any questions? I hope I didn't run like overtime. I didn't think about that. Any questions? I hope this was helpful. It's really a biggest thing, building trust, you guys, getting to know your hostess. I encourage you, if you've never done that, if you've never taken the time to like truly meant to be, that's adorable. If I had meant to be, I don't know though if I would be giving that up. But that is cute. You could even do though, like if the meant to be, you could even like send like a cute little pack of like mints to them. That would be cute too. But building trust, getting to know your hostess. If you've never tried to really truly get to know your hostess and the guest, implement that first. Let that be the first thing you implement. I encourage everybody when they get off of a training to find one thing that they can implement and just focus on that for a little bit, and then you can move on to the next thing. And that comes with anything, you guys. We're going to have a lot of training. I know y'all have done a lot in this team page, a lot of training. I encourage you guys to just don't get overwhelmed with it. Take all of it in, take notes, and then take a day. Like I will, after I get off of any kind of conference we have, like leader conference, or if we were at conference, I always take a day to not do any work and just kind of go through my notes and like number the things that I want, like priority wise, like, okay, I want to implement this first. And then I think I'm going to go on to this and I'll implement that second. And then I kind of rank them. And then you just start to implement them little by little. Don't feel like you have to like now implement everything that you've learned. That gets overwhelming. So just take it little by little. Enjoy y'all's training. You have an incredible team, incredible leaders. You should all be so thankful. I hope you have an awesome day. Happy conference day. Can't wait to see everything they have for us tonight. And I'll talk to you later. Bye guys.